Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race at Talladega concluded in the most spectacular way possible, and for Joey Logano, it was a terrible nightmare as NASCAR hit back at him once again. While Austin Cindric celebrated his emotional victory, another story swiftly gained the forefront: the disqualification of two big contenders, including Logano himself. Following a wild day of superspeedway drama, post-race inspection sent shockwaves through the paddock, removing Logano's fifth-place result and creating tensions inside Team Penske that might take weeks to resolve. Shortly after the checkered flag flew, NASCAR announced that Ryan Preece, who finished second, and Joey Logano had been disqualified for failing post-race tech inspection. Both infractions concerned rear spoiler infringement. Preece's RFK Racing Ford was discovered to have an unlawful extra carbon fiber shim on the spoiler, 3, when the maximum allowed is 2 under superspeedway rules. Meanwhile, Logano's Team Penske Ford had an unsecured bolt on the spoiler, in violation of the NASCAR rulebook's sections May 8-14, E and 14, 1.p, which require all fasteners to be properly fastened during the race. The ramifications were quick and severe. Both drivers were relegated to the bottom of the standings, Logano finishing 39th and Preece 38th. All of their stage points, which were essential to their playoff chances, were taken away. Logano had 9 points for the day, but now exits Talladega with only 1 point to show for his efforts. The fallout was fast. Neither Team Penske nor RFK Racing elected to appeal their disqualifications. Team Penske released a statement shortly after the announcement saying, "The number 22 Team Penske Ford Mustang was disqualified following post-race inspection at Talladega today. One of the 18 bolts on the surface of the spoiler that connect to the base was found to be loose, and NASCAR penalized the team as a result. This was not intentional and happened throughout the course of the race event. Team Penske accepts the disqualification." Despite the team's attempts to downplay the situation, Logano's season has taken a serious impact. Logano, who is already having a disappointing 2025 season with only one top 10 finish, is now out of the top 10 in points due to the DQ. He dropped from 8th to 11th in the standings overnight. The frustration did not begin with the DQ, however. Logano's radio rant erupts. Logano's irritation reached a boiling point earlier in the race when he yelled at teammate Austin Cindric over the radio. Logano had an excellent chance of winning Stage 2 until Cindric had to check up behind him. Logano's momentum was broken by that tiny lift, allowing Bubba Wallace to pass him and win the stage. Logano did not mince his comments on the radio. "Way to go, Austin, way to go, you dumb F. Way to effing go. What a stupid state. You just gave it to him. Gave a Toyota the stage win. Nice job. Way to go. What a dumbass. Put that in the book again." It was a remarkable outburst of rage, exacerbated by replays that revealed Cindric had likely taken the correct decision, lifting to prevent wrecking Logano and maybe taking out half the field. The consequences extended beyond internal team relationships. Even MLB veteran Chipper Jones, a well-known NASCAR fan, criticized Logano on social media for his outburst, claiming that silence would have been preferable in the situation. Following the race, cooler heads tried to prevail. Logano, addressing to the media, attempted to present a more polished perspective. "It's about time one of us wins these things. You think about the amount of laps led by Team Penske and Ford in general, we just haven't been able to close. To see a couple Fords on the front row duking it out, I wish one of them was me. But it's good to see those guys run up there and click one off for Penske." But the resentment was difficult to mask. Inside the fallout, NASCAR insiders respond. Insiders Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi reviewed the incident in great detail on the Teardown podcast. Gluck defended Cindric's decision. "I think once cooler heads prevail, Joey will probably be more chill about that. Cindric wasn't like, 'I'm going to bail on you.' It was, 'I'm just trying to not turn you into the wall and wreck the whole field.' Which again, good decision." Bianchi reiterated this sentiment. "This is just the weird thing about superspeedway racing. Sometimes your teammate can't be there for you. It's just strange bedfellows." Both agreed that Logano made a poor decision in the heat of the moment. Logano had a disaster of a day. The 3-time Cup Series champion had a dreadful Sunday, with the radio meltdown, the 5th-place result being wiped, and the whole optics of criticizing a colleague who later helped the organization win. To add insult to injury, the disqualification means Kyle Larson is now officially credited with 2nd place, William Byron 3rd, Noah Gragson 4th, and Chase Elliott 5th. Cindric's victory stays official, but the emotional toll on Team Penske could last much longer. Joey Logano's sluggish start to the season has already raised red flags. He had never won a race and had only finished in the top 10. With this disqualification, his path to the playoffs just got harder. Logano acknowledged earlier this year, "What you did last year will not be good enough to win this year. As great as that moment was, it's over, and we've got to do it all again." The scoreboards reset back to zero. After Sunday, Logano's 2025 season appears to be drifting dangerously backward, rather than just reset. Will Penske weather the storm? All eyes are now focused on the upcoming Team Penske debrief. How do you calm things down after such an explosive radio tirade? How can you rally around a racer who lost his cool with a colleague and then had his race result erased? Austin Cindric, for his part, has handled the situation quietly and professionally. Logano received no public jabs, no stoking the fire, just a subdued celebration after the biggest win in his young career. But make no mistake, if this situation is not treated properly, it will worsen inside. The road ahead. For Joey Logano, the journey back begins immediately. He'll need to rebuild trust within Team Penske, improve his execution on and off the track, and figure out how to put together great results as the season approaches the crucial summer stretch. The upcoming races could be career-defining. If Logano can control his fury, find victory lane, and regain momentum, Talladega will be remembered as a minor setback. However, if the frustrations persist and the DQ haunts his playoff prospects, this might be a watershed moment for a three-time champion struggling to remain relevant in NASCAR's new era. And following Sunday's dramatic collapse, one thing is certain. Joey Logano's 2025 season is now officially on high alert. For Joey Logano, the aftermath of Talladega is more than simply a poor day at work. It is a watershed point in his 2025 campaign. Disqualifications are uncommon at the Cup level, and when they do occur, they frequently leave permanent scars. The loss of important points, the strained relationship with teammate Austin Cindric, and the developing suspicion of internal conflict at Team Penske might set the tone for the remainder of the season if not addressed soon and effectively. Logano's mental toughness has been one of his most distinguishing characteristics throughout his career, and he will need every ounce of it now. The following series of races, including Texas, Kansas, and Darlington, leaves little room for error. Logano has traditionally performed well at Texas Motor Speedway, but it is a fast, aero-sensitive circuit where momentum and team cohesion are important. Logano has the potential to change the narrative if Team Penske can unite and refocus. However, if the tensions continue to grow, and Logano and Cindric's relationship continues strained, the season might be wrecked by squandered opportunities and internal conflict. The pressure will be intense. Every pit call, every on-track maneuver, and every radio transmission will be analyzed not only by fans and journalists, but also by Team Penske itself. Logano's aim is clear: mute the noise, bury the turmoil, and return to what he does best, winning races and competing for championships. The following several weeks will not only define his 2025 season, but may also define the next phase of his career. The clock is ticking, and the stakes are never higher.